Black and gold fans, college football fans, welcome in or welcome back to the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog, where we examine, discuss, honor, and celebrate all things college football across the entire college football landscape, but with a very special emphasis on our beloved black and gold squads of the Missouri Tigers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Welcome back, guys. I'm your usual host, Blair Parks, and today is a uber big time episode. That's right, Conference Championship Week is upon us. So many things hang in the balance: bowl positioning, bowl matchups and destinations, trophies, bragging rights, but also the always important college football playoff field is still yet to be determined. That's right, you can tell by my game day hair, it's time for some picks, and this is my conference championship preview and picks episode. Can't wait to get going here in a little bit. Welcome back, guys. For some of you who are returning, or if this is your first time here on the channel, welcome. The Touchdown Black and Gold vlog is a safe haven, a congregation spot for all college football fans from east to west, north to south, and everywhere in between. You don't have to be a black and gold fan to enjoy the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. After all, I forgive you. Nobody's perfect. But this is a safe haven, and you guys, I always encourage and welcome any of your participation, comments, thoughts, critique, anything that you think you want to add. So please do that, and we need you. The channel is growing each and every week. Everything is trending in the right direction. Views, likes, shares, comments, subscriptions. But I need you. We need some more. So let's do what you can to spread the word about the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. Tell your fellow college football fanatics, your coworkers, friends, family to check me out here on the channel. So if you like what you see or what you hear, please click the button, subscribe, join the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog, and ask yourself not what can the black and gold do for you, but what you can do for the black and gold. All right, guys, this is a kind of a little bit of a different preview and picks episode. Normally, I always include my updated Heisman Trophy standings and my short list of candidates. I'm going to go ahead and shelf that until this Sunday's very special episode. That's right, I am going to absolutely have a reaction and recap to the college football playoff field and some of the big time uber awesome bowl matchups. So I definitely will share that with you Sunday night. And at that point, I will give you my final four, my four Heisman Trophy finalists that I would be inviting to NYC if I was a member of the Heisman Trophy Committee. But it's a little bit chilly here in the Show Me State this morning. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. But before we do it, I've got to mention once again the college football playoff. We finally have clarity. If you missed Tuesday's reveal of the updated rankings, the top four: Georgia in the 1 seed, 2 is Michigan after their upset road victory at Columbus over rivalry weekend, and the 3 seed is TCU, and the 4 seed is USC, the men of Troy. And if that were to happen today, if the invites were to be sent right now, I would be completely happy with that. Other than, there's just one thing that I would change. My projections, I actually think TCU should be the 2 seed. No disrespect to Michigan, but I think TCU should be the 2 seed, Michigan at 3, and then USC. But if that was to happen today, I would be completely happy with the college football playoff field, because it really, at this point, would be something a little bit different from what we've seen the last few seasons. It's actually a playoff, a really kind of a battle for conference supremacy. You would have 4 different teams from 4 different conferences, and the weakest conference, which this year absolutely is the ACC. They are on the outside looking in, and no matter what happens over this weekend, the ACC champ is not going to find their way into the CFP field. They're just not. So I love it. I would love to have 4 different teams from 4 representing different conferences. I would absolutely love that. But stay tuned to see what you think I believe is going to happen, along with our 2 guest pickers. That's right. The guest picker tournament continues today. But here's something else that I think is going to happen. Let's say TCU or USC slip up. And I'm going to say those 2 because from my viewpoint, I think even if Georgia or Michigan were to stumble, now if both do, then that's complete chaos. But let's just say for the sake of this argument, one of those 2 teams were to lose this weekend, I still think they would still get the 4 seed as an at-large. I just think the committee is not going to punish them because of the seasons they've had. So I think those 2 teams should feel very comfortable. I think they're in no matter what happens. But if TCU or USC are to slip up at the hands of Kansas State or Utah in the Big 12 and Pac-12 title games, then I absolutely am going to say right now, Ohio State will get the number 4 at-large bid and will have 2 teams from the Big 10 Conference. So that's what I think is going to happen if certain teams have these gut-wrenching, bad, tough losses to swallow. But stay tuned here, and I'll let you know who I think is going to win the games here in Conference Championship Weekend. And if this is your first time on picks, each and every week I pick 15 games. Now, yes, you're probably saying, hold on there, Blair. We don't have 15 conferences. That's right. But because of some other games, I was able to pick 15 games yet again this week. We have a MAC, regular season MAC makeup game, Akron's at Buffalo, so that's on the list. I also included next week's game, America's game between Army and Navy. And I always have every week one FCS title or one FCS game of the week at the lower level of Division I football. But currently the FCS playoffs are going on. So this week you have not just 1, not 2, but 3. That's right, a nice menage a trois of FCS games that I included on this week's list. And I absolutely, like every week, have my premier spotlight game of the week. So you definitely want to stay tuned to see what I believe this week's game of the week is. And last week, yours truly, it was a tough week. I did have a winning record. I went 8-7. So on the season, I'm 117 W's to 78 losses, good for 60%. I was hoping to be a little bit better than that at this point, guys. My season goal, before the season kicked off, I set my goal at 70% or better. Mathematically, that is impossible. But I think if I have a good week, let's say if I win 13 or 12 games, I'm going to give myself a reprieve because after all, we all deserve a second chance. I think I am going to extend this into bowl season. We'll have to wait and see. So probably not going to get to my season goal at the end of the regular season, but stay tuned. I might extend it just a little bit. And also the guest picker tournament continues today. Last week, Charlie in the upset took down Brett. So unfortunately, Brett is out. He will not be able to defend last year's title as the guest picker tournament winner. So Charlie has punched his ticket to the guest picker tournament final. And today's winner between the boss, no, not Bruce Springsteen or my wife, the boss man at where I work, Sam, is going up against the Donovan household. That's right. My first ever household guest pickers have advanced to the semifinals. So good luck to both of them today. And thank you to all of my guest pickers this season. You made it fun. You did not disappoint. And hopefully we can do it again next year. So big time bragging rights and things lay in the balance not just for teams on the gridiron, but also for our guest pickers and for yours truly. All right, guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get it. What do you think? And please, once again, guys, let me remind you to subscribe, smash the button, comment, let me know what you think about my analysis, comment the hell out of it. You agree, disagree, I missed something, or you would like me to present another subject. I want to hear from you, the college football fandom universe. Comment, and I promise you I will get back to you, each and every one of you individually, and I will answer your comments. So let's go ahead and get into it. I've got everybody's picks here in front of me, my own, Sam's, and the Donovans. Let's go ahead and get it. So the first game up this week is that aforementioned MAC regular season makeup game. If you recall, the storm of the century, Snowmageddon, that hit the Buffalo area a couple weeks ago. This is a makeup game of that canceled game. Akron, the Zips, travel to the Buffalo Bulls. Can't wait to see this game. It's going to be a nice kind of appetizer and warm-up to the rest of conference championship weekend. So not really a lot to play for both of these teams. I believe Buffalo is bowl eligible, I believe. But let's see what we think about this game. Let's start off with always guests first. Sam in this game says a makeup game on championship week. Not a lot to play for. Kind of like what I mentioned. Looks like rain in Buffalo, and I think their running game is better than Akron's. That's a great hot take by Sam. The Bulls pull away in the second half for an easy victory. So Sam likes Buffalo big. The Donovans, they're a household of four-legged friends and creatures, so they're definitely taking Buffalo in this game as well. And me, I kind of tend to agree with both guest pickers. I think Buffalo is a better team, so I'm also taking Buffalo. We're all on the Bulls train for this game. Now, next game, big time, uber game, the Conference USA title game. It's North Texas versus the Mean Green of North Texas. I love that name. Two of my favorite mascots, by the way, face off in this game. The North Texas Mean Green take on the UTSA, the Roadrunners. Roadrunners come in 10-2. They were a perfect 8-0 in Conference USA play. I said the last 2 weeks, guys, during my college football playoff rankings, reaction and recap episodes, that this UTSA team, they completely deserve to be ranked. They've been robbed and shafted. If they win, I absolutely expect them to find themselves in the final CFP rankings on Sunday night. Let's see what we think about this game. And by the way, might be your last chance to see a stud quarterback most of you know nothing about. UTSA quarterback Frank Harris, absolute stud. He's going to be in the NFL. Let's see what our guest pickers think about this game. Let's start with Sam. Sam says the Conference USA title game will be a home game for UTSA that will be played in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. They win a closer one to end the season, undefeated in conference play. Sam, he's taking the Roadrunners. Great pick. Can't argue with that. Now the Donovans, because remember I said they are four-legged fans of creatures. So in this game, they're taking the upset. That's right, the Donovan household, they're taking the Mean Green of North Texas. I love that because once again, the ties there, the ties between Iowa and North Texas. Before he came to coach at the University of Iowa, the legendary, the one and only Hayden Fry was the coach at North Texas for a time being. Me, I've been on the UTSA bandwagon all season. I'm a huge fan of the Roadrunners. I think they get it done at home, improved to 11-2. What a great season, especially after losing their stud running back in the offseason, Sincere McCormick. one of the best names ever in the history of college football as well. I like UTSA as well. I'm on the bandwagon, so we'll see what plays out in the Conference USA title game. Next title game up Friday night. And this is one of those, obviously, right now they would be in the field, would be number 4 USC. College football playoff invites hang in the balance in the Pac-12 title game. It's a rematch from a game earlier this season. Number 11 Utah takes on number 4 USC. I believe this game's in Las Vegas. Wow, you talk about two different contrasts of styles. You have Utah, who, if you recall, Utah was the team that gave USC their only loss of the season. Utah likes to play more of a ground control, half-court type game, very physical on the lines of scrimmage, when we all know that USC wants to throw it all over the yard, kind of play that up and down basketball game, to use a b-ball analogy. They want to get up and down. They want to run the court. So I love this game. I love when we have a difference in contrast of styles and games. I absolutely love that. Can Utah repeat and knock the men of Troy off for the second time this season? Will it dash their CFP hopes and dreams? Let's find out right now. So Sam, first of all, for this game, he says, Utah gave USC their only loss of the year in Week 7, which was a absolute instant classic, by the way, the same day that Tennessee took out Alabama. But the Utah-USC game was on late. Hopefully you stayed up. It was just as good, if not better, than the Tennessee-Alabama game, just to add that. The Trojans are ranked 4th in the nation, but the Utes have a strong defense, only allowing 206 passing yards a game. They will shut down Caleb Williams and cover the spread. He thinks this will be a low-scoring game. So, surprisingly, Sam is taking the Utah Utes, the 2 Utes. He likes Utah. The Donovans, they're taking the men of Troy and Traveler in this one. Me, if you've been watching this season, preseason, I picked Utah, was one of my college football playoff teams. They did come up a little bit short. I'm all about Utah and Coach Kyle Whittingham, one of the best coaches in all of the nation. But that loss a couple weeks ago, guys, up in Oregon against the Ducks when Bo Nix could barely move around, Utah just looked a little tired. They weren't as crisp. I would love to pick the Utes, but USC right now is rolling. I expect them to get the W and punch their ticket to the college football playoff. Give me USC in this game. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. We have the MAC title game, the Mid-American Conference. We have the Toledo Rockets face off with the Ohio Bobcats. Can't wait to watch this one. I believe it's in Detroit is where this game is played, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong, somebody please let me know. I don't mind, making gaffes. If you're the first time with me, I don't do edits. I don't do retakes. I don't do dress rehearsals. All I simply do is set up, click, record, end, download, and send. That's it. Because if I had to do all of those things, it would be a job, and this is a straight-up hobby. A pleasure for me to be here with you, sharing my love and passion for all things college football. So thank you for allowing me the opportunity. So the MAC title game, don't really know much about this game. I wish Frank Solich would still be in control at Ohio, but he stepped down due to health reasons. Let's see what our guest pickers think about the MAC title game. Sam, first of all, says, Toledo has lost 2 straight, so a bad time for the Rockets to be on a losing streak coming into the conference championship game. I don't think Ohio is a powerhouse, but the underdog prevails. Ohio wins in a close one. So Sam is taking the Bobcats to get it done. Now, the Donovan household, surprisingly, Bobcat does have four legs, does have, I don't know what they're doing on this one, but they're going against the grain. The Donovans are taking the Toledo Rockets. Me, Even though they've lost 2 straight, guys, I'm taking the Rockets as well because I just feel like it. So give me Toledo in the MAC title game. Next game, a big-time game. Can't wait to watch this one. It's a mid-afternoon kickoff, I believe, in the 2:30 window. The Sun Belt, the old Fun Belt title game, features Coastal Carolina, who has been the recent royalty and darling in the Sun Belt. They face off with Troy, the other men of Troy. Can't wait to watch this game. But in all reality and fairness, it should be James Madison facing off with Troy. But because of that stupid rule about, hey, once you switch from FCS to Division I NCAA football, FBS, you have to wait 2 years before you can participate in a bowl. That's crap. I mean, they've got to end that. And JMU knocked off Coastal Carolina last week to also finish 6-2 in conference. But this is the matchup that we have. Can Coastal Carolina continue to be one of the upper echelon teams in the Sun Belt? Reports are that quarterback Grayson Mullet McCall may return for this game for the Chanticleers of Coastal. He's missed the last few games. Is that going to matter? We'll have to wait and see. All right? But they face off with the record breaker, Troy linebacker, Carlton Marshall. Congratulations. Earlier this season, he broke the record, and now he owns the record himself for most career tackles in NCAA history for a career. Well done to you. Let's see what we think about this game. We'll start off with Sam in the Sun Belt title game. Sam says, classic Sun Belt showdown, absolutely. Troy is heavily favored to win this one, which I think is a lot of people are uncertain about Grayson McCall's availability and even how effective he may be. That's why I think this spread's a little bit more than what it should be. But I think the passing game for Coastal will carry them. They end the year strong with a close win on the road. This game's in Troy. Wow. So Sam is taking Troy in this matchup. Wow. So I can't believe this. But no, he's taking Coastal. I'm sorry. So Sam is taking Coastal Carolina. I got a little bit discombobulated there, looking at 2 different monitors. So Sam, the boss, is taking Coastal. The Donovans, they're leaning towards Troy. They like Troy to get it done. Me, if I knew if Grayson McCall was going to play or not, I probably would go another direction with this. But Troy, they've got a good defense. They're solid. They don't beat themselves. I'm also taking Troy in the Sun Belt Conference title game. So we'll see how that one shakes out. Next game, the SEC title game. And quite frankly, I'm not being an SEC hater. I'm not bashing them. But you know what? This game is the same kickoff time as another conference title game. And this is the one that I think will be the snoozer. I've made no secrets about it. I think LSU is highly overranked and overrated. But let's see, can they potentially shock the world and knock off #1 Georgia in Atlanta for the SEC title? Let's see what we think right now. And another playoff game right here. I already said Georgia wins, they're in. Even with a loss, I still think they will get in. But let's just see how this one could potentially affect the college football playoff. Sam in this game says there is no home field advantage in this one. LSU will fill the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and it will be a loud one. Wow. I kind of like where this is going so far. Is Sam going to pick the Tigers? Let's see. LSU takes the lead into halftime, but Georgia pounds out a win to go to the playoffs undefeated and the #1 overall seed. Sam's taken the Bulldogs of Georgia. Now, in an upset, the Donovan household, they're taking Sam's analysis and they're going to keep on track. They like LSU to pull the upset. I love that pick. Me, I think Georgia is just too much for the Tigers. Congratulations, though, to first-year coach Brian Kelly down in Baton Rouge. I told you guys preseason during my bold predictions episode, He was the best hire, coaching hire in the offseason. Better long-term than Lincoln Riley. Just trust the process, Tiger fans. He will bring you a national title. All he does is win, but thinking it's going to happen in the first season is unrealistic. So win, lose, or draw, it's been a great year under first-year coach Brian Kelly for LSU, but I like Georgia, and they find themselves the #1 seed in the playoff. Next game. I love this matchup, guys. This might be one of the most underrated games of the day as far as conference championships go. I'm talking about the Mountain West title game, and there is one individual, guys. This might be your last chance to see him in action on the field. Fresno State takes on the Boise State Broncos, Bulldogs, Broncos. And the person I'm talking about is Fresno State quarterback Jake Haener. He has a future. He will be at the next level in the NFL. I was so high on this guy last year, and coming into this season, I said during my bowl predictions episode preseason that Jake Haener would be the best player at the non-Power 5 level. I still think he is, even though he missed 3 games, I believe, after an injury early in the year against USC. He's back, throwing for 300 yards plus a game. Definitely check this guy out. The best quarterback, I'm not going to say the best, but one of the best quarterbacks in the entire nation, whether it's Power 5 or non-Power 5 level. But let's see if that's going to be enough to get it done against Boise State. Love this matchup. Boise State, I believe, went undefeated in Mountain West Conference play. What a good season, a good bounce-back year for head coach Andy Avalos there at Boise. That is how you properly pronounce it, guys, by the way. Boise. Not Boise, Boise State. Let's see what the guest pickers think about this game. Let's start with Sam. Sam says, the Bulldogs head up to the Smurf turf. This game is in Boise on the blue turf, so prepare your eyes, guys. It can be a little bit difficult. The Bulldogs head to the Smurf turf to battle the Broncos for the Mountain West Championship. The forecast is for light snow. Of course it is in Boise. We love that. But the boys from Fresno have momentum, winning their last 7 games. The underdogs win on the road and give Boise their first conference loss of the season. Sam's going with the Bulldogs, old Victor E. Bulldog, and Jake Haener. He likes Fresno State. The Donovans, they're going the other way. They're taking the Broncos. Apparently, they're more equine fans than they are canine fans of 4-legged creatures. They like Boise State at home. Me, you know who I'm picking. Jake Haener. A stud, a man among men, a god, or what, a titan among gods, if that makes sense. Bleh. But I'm liking Fresno State as well. I'm taking the visitors. Go Bulldogs, go Jake Haener. Next game this is the game that I'm going to be watching primarily in the 3 o'clock kickoff window. I already mentioned the SEC game, which I think is going to be a potential snoozer. This is the game that you really have to watch. Now, I'll be watching all of them, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be watching this one more closely. I'm talking about the AAC title game. And unfortunately, last year, Cincinnati won the AAC, the American Athletic Conference title, and found themselves in the playoff field. This game is not going to result in that. But to the winner of this game, they will clinch absolutely the New Year's 6 bowl berth for the highest-ranked non-Power 5 champion. I'm talking number 22, UCF takes on number 18, Tulane. Can't wait to see this game. These guys met on the field just a few weeks ago. Can't wait to see the matchup. If you watched my college football playoff rankings reaction show a couple days ago, I think this Tulane team is underrated. I definitely think they're better than the number 18 ranking. But let's see if I think that's going to be enough to get it done against the Gus Bus, Gus Malzahn there in UCF. Let's find out right now. Sam thinks in this game, Two evenly matched teams play for the American Athletic Conference title. I can never root against the mascot that strikes fear in its opponents. Go Tulane, the Green Wave. So yes, I mean, if you're somebody who is aquatically challenged or has a fear of drama, maybe you're Bruce Willis's character, David Dunn, from Unbreakable. Yes, you have a lot of fear concerning the Green Wave. Sam's taken Tulane. In another upset, I love where the Donovans are going. We're going to definitely have a clear winner. I don't think we're going to go into a tiebreaker this week. The Donovans are taking UCF. They're taking the Golden Knights. Tulane did burn me earlier this season, but I'm taking the Green Wave. I like them too. Give me Tulane. They're going to be rocking and rolling down there in Nolens. Can't wait to see that. And they'll be playing on January 2nd in the New Year's Six bowl game. Can't wait. Go Tulane. Next game. It's going to be a good game to watch, but this is the ACC title game I'm talking about. Clemson, number 9 Clemson, the winners of the Atlantic Division, face off with number 23 North Carolina, who won the Coastal Division. Clemson coming off a loss last week at home against in-state rival South Carolina. So there goes their winning streak against the Gamecocks, but also now ended their 40-game win streak at home. Can North Carolina get off the mat? They've lost 2 straight games, guys. Last week they lost in rivalry week to North Carolina State. And the week before that, the previous week, against an average Georgia Tech squad. So it's definitely a game to watch. But the ACC absolutely is behind everybody else this year. So let's see what we think about this game. What team bounces back and hoists the ACC conference hardware, the trophy? Let's find out right now. In this game, Sam says 10-2 Clemson traveled north to Charlotte. This game's in Charlotte, a neutral site for the ACC title game. They travel north to Charlotte to face the Tar Heels. If the weather is bad, currently 30% chance of showers. It could throw off UNC's passing attack, which is really how they live and die, do the Tar Heels, with former Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback Drake May having an awesome season. Numbers, some of, if not the best in the entire nation. They live and die by the pass. Clemson pulls out a close one on a 3-interception day by North Carolina. So Sam likes the Clemson defense to come up big. He's taking the Tigers. The Donovans, they can't go against the Tar Heels. They're taking the Clemson Tigers as well. This was a tough one for me to pick, guys. I think Clemson can be the better team when they're right, but the entire season, their offense just hasn't clicked. They haven't found that high gear, not quite yet. North Carolina has. That's right. I'm taking the upset in this one. I'm taking Drake May. This is his moment to maybe potentially get back on the Heisman Trophy short list. I like North Carolina to pull the upset. Give me the Tar Heels in North Carolina to get it done. Next, a game that's close to my heart. I'm talking the Big Ten title game. The West winner, how the West was won. Purdue took care of business down the stretch, the last week of the regular season. Iowa did not on Black Friday. They lost at home, upset by visiting Nebraska. So Purdue wins the West. Yes, guys, I'm over the loss. I feel better about it. Purdue deserves to advance, and I'm taking nothing away from what Nebraska did by ruining our travel plans. But Purdue, making their first ever appearance in the Big Ten title game, they take on number 2 Michigan off potentially the win of the year, period, in college football, traveling to the Horseshoe last week and defeating then number 2 Ohio State in this year's edition of The Game. How do we see this playing out? And I love this game because, once again, I love differences of matchups and schemes and styles. You have a Michigan team that's going to try to dominate physically the lines of scrimmage, body punch you, body blow you, pull you into a phone booth and wear you out. And then you have Purdue, who's more of a finesse offense that is going to throw the ball all over the field. They don't really want to find themselves in a physical contest, so we'll see what style comes out on top. Let's start with Sam. In this game, Sam says, Purdue did not accept me for undergrad. Uh-oh. So Sam, I didn't know this about my boss, but Sam says Purdue did not accept him for undergrad. I will never, capital letters, never root for them. Michigan wins. He likes the Wolverines. The Donovans, wow, another upset. They're going with Purdue, the spoiler makers. Can they take out another top 5 opponent when they're unranked? They have a history of doing that. Just ask our Iowa Hawkeyes. Me, I think this game is going to be much closer than what people think. If you give Coach Jeff Brom time to scheme, he's like a mad scientist. I think Purdue will be able to put points on the board and move the ball, but can they just get a few stops against that physically superior Michigan team? And last week, J.J. McCarthy throwing haymaker after haymaker, connecting on the deep ball, something he did not do the second half of the season, really surprised me. But I just think Michigan finds a way. Maybe if early they come out overlooking Purdue, but I think they win in a one-possession game, and then they punch their ticket to the college football playoff. I'm taking Michigan as well. Now next, my Academy game of the week, which I have every week, and I included this one because I had to get to 15, and plus it deserves it. I'm talking about America's game, Army versus Navy, one of the best spectacles in the entire nation in college football and in sports general. I love watching this game. I hardly ever miss it. And in this game, there are no losers. It's my salute to you, the men and women, past and current, members of the United States Armed Forces. Let's see what we think about this year's edition of America's Game. Sam says, my father was an Army Ranger. I didn't know that about your pops there, Sam. You learn something new each day. My pops was an Army Ranger. Go Army, beat Navy. He's taken the Black Knights. The Donovans, you know, their mascot is a goat, so you know which way they're going. They're taking Navy. Me, this was a toss-up game. I just think Navy's profile, resume, and record and who they've played and defeated this year is better. So give me Navy as well. And the triple option, well, both teams run the triple option, but Navy gets it done. They do it better. Now this is my first of 3 FCS playoff games. I love this. And the thing I love about these 6 teams, I have not had them yet on the channel all year. I usually always try to spread out the game of the week at the FCS level, but none of these teams have been included or involved quite yet until now, so I had to get them in. The first game, and these are rankings according to the FCS polls, number 16, New Hampshire, I believe they're the Wildcats, travel to number 6, the Crusaders of Holy Cross. Love that mascot. Let's see what we think about this game. Sam says, the Granite State crumbles under the pressure of facing undefeated Holy Cross on the road. The Crusaders cruise to a big win. He's taking Holy Cross. The Donovans, if they're the Wildcats, you know where they're going. They're taking New Hampshire in this game. Me, I love Holy Cross. The Crusaders, I mean, how can you go against that? Give me Holy Cross to advance as well. Next game, number 11, Furman, travels to number 7, Incarnate Word. 2 teams that I know very little about but have had great seasons. Let's see who we think is going to win this game in advance in the FCS playoffs. Sam says, Furman had a tougher strength of schedule, losing to the number 5 ranked Clemson Tigers and the Southern Conference powerhouse Samford Bulldogs. So yeah, their 2 losses of Furman's were legit, no doubt about it. I think they are underrated going on the road to play Incarnate. Word. They easily cruise to the quarterfinals, so Sam is taking Furman in this matchup. The Donovans, they're following suit. They also like Furman. Me, I just like saying it. I'm taking Incarnate. Word. Give me Incarnate. Word. Once again, in case you missed it, Incarnate. Word. I like them to advance. Now, my final FCS playoff game before my Premier Spotlight game of the week, number 23, the Southeast Louisiana Lions traveled to the number 9 Samford, not Stanford, not Sanford and Son. Oh, Elizabeth, not that either. Number 9, the Samford Bulldogs. Let's see what we think about this game. In this game, Sam says that Samford was one of the few teams or few schools that did accept him for undergrad. He's taken the Bulldogs of Samford to win. The Donovans, a battle of 2 4-legged creatures, but they like the king in this one. They like the Lions of Southeast Louisiana. Me, I can't go against Samford and Son. Give me the Bulldogs of Samford in this one to win and advance. And now, guys, we reach my Premier Spotlight game of the week. Another one of the games that is going to basically factor in towards the college football playoff field, just like the USC-Utah game will, and Georgia-LSU, and Purdue and Michigan. Big time game. I can't wait to watch it, even though I'm probably not going to be able to watch a lot of it. It's the early kick at 11. I've got a couple events that my kids have going on, but I am going to record it, so I will watch it at some point in its entirety. I'm talking the Big 12 title game, hands down the deepest, most competitive conference all year in college football. Number 10, Kansas State. 3-loss Kansas State, hands down the best 3-loss team in the nation. They take on number 3 TCU, undefeated TCU, who right now finds themselves in the college football playoff. Will this Cinderella year continue? Just to let it be known, I am not that surprised, guys. In my preseason bold predictions episode, I picked TCU to get to the Big 12 title game, but did not pick them to potentially win it or be undefeated. But I knew they would be better than the 6.5 wins that Vegas projected them to be. So what's going to happen? Will TCU punch their ticket, or will they be denied? Let's find out right now. I cannot wait to watch this game at some point. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. So Sam in this game says, Kansas State lost to TCU by 10 points in October, and it was a really, really close competitive game. Since then, they picked up the pace, culminating in an impressive 48-0 rout of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. TCU is looking ahead to January and slips up in this one. Kansas State wins by a field goal, 29-26. So Sam is taking the upset, and he is one of those who thinks the hearts of TCU fans will be crushed. He's taking the Wildcats. The Donovan household, you know which way they're going to go here. I mean, horned frogs are 4-legged creatures, don't get me wrong, but they're taking the Wildcats as well. They like Kansas State. And me, I cannot wait for this game. This was a tough decision for me. And I know what my pick is, and I already have it down. I just can't believe that we're all going to agree. Earlier in October, Kansas State was up at halftime against TCU in Dallas-Fort Worth. But in the second half, not just their number 1, but number 2 quarterbacks were banged up, did not play. TCU was able to pull away for that 10-point victory. both Adrian Martinez and I believe it's Will Howard are healthy, I think they're the difference. We all like Kansas State to pull the upset and ruin the hearts and travel plans to break the hearts of TCU fans. I'm also taking the Wildcats. I have been high on this team all season. Give me the Wildcats. I can't believe we all picked Kansas State. That's why I kind of wanted to change my pick just to go TCU. But then again, either way, there's no winners here. There's no losers here. They're all winners. Okay? And plus, I would not mind seeing 2 Big Ten teams get in the college football playoff for the first time ever. If that does happen, it would be history. So, guys, that's it. That's today's conference championship preview and picks episode. Thank you for your attention, your support. None of this would be possible without you, the Black and Gold family, college football fans and universe alike. I cannot thank you enough. It's been a great season. We are wrapping it up, but never fear, I've got some fun episodes in store before the bowl games officially kick off. Definitely expect me to be back with you Sunday night in an instant reaction and recap to the final college football playoff rankings and the participants in the playoff, and also share with you some of the bowl matchups that I'm very, very bullish on. So I can't wait to see you on Sunday night. Until then, please subscribe, comment, like, share. Let me know what you think. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy conference championship weekend. Enjoy the football. To you and yours, be safe, have fun, and until Sunday night, thanks for being here on the Touchdown Black and Gold vlog. See you Sunday.